Yo guys, what's going on? We are getting one of the best cards to ever be released in the game in a few days in the TCG on the 19th of October, which funnily enough is also my birthday. We will get the S&P Little Knight. It is confirmed that this one will be a quarter century secret rare, so it will be a secret rare in the pack. This is the first interesting thing. I will go over the text here, over the effect, and why this is so important and so impactful for the game in a moment. But we can expect, so for example, I have here a card market where you can shop your TCG cards. We have the Chaos Angel here at the current moment at 46, so an extra deck monster with the secret rarity, and you can see this thing is around about 50 euros. I think in the US market it's even more expensive. And the funny thing is, this is not even a card that is played in a lot of decks, right? It's basically only played in Labyrinth. Of course, you are playing it 3 times there if you have it, if you can afford it. But what I want to say is that SP Little Knight, or we can expect SP Little Knight to be one of the most expensive cards ever. I would not be surprised if this hits like 100 euros or something, depending, of course, on the pull rate a bit. But this will be a secret rare, and you can basically play it in nearly every deck. It's super splashable, it's super generic, and we will talk about why this is so impactful. But for those of you who have not heard of the card, obviously in Master Duel, if you're here for the Master Duel content, we will get this in the future. It's quite a bit in the future, so don't you worry about this right now. Of course, this will be an ultra rare that you can be quite sure of. So S&P Little Knight, it reminds us of IP Masquerena, of course. It is dark, warrior link effect, the link arrows are left and right, 1/6 attack, and it says made by 2 effect monsters, so you can pretty much make it with everything if you want to say it. So if this card is a linked summon using a fusion synchro XYZ or link monster as material, you can target 1 card on the field or in either graveyard, banish it. Also, your monsters cannot attack directly this turn. So what you can obviously use this with, the name says it already, is the IP Masquerena. So you can use your Masquerena to make your Little Knight, maybe with another link 1 monster. I have a Road of the King here, in which we can see a few decks that are playing the SP Little Knight. For example, this one is playing it with it's Linkuriboh, not Linguriboh, but you can go into your Link 1, for example, then you have a Link monster, and I mean, this deck is not playing it right now, the IP Masquerena, but then, for example, you could go into your IP Masquerena, and then on your next turn, use the Masquerena, or maybe the Linkuriboh. Though Linkuriboh, you can also, so in this constellation, you would basically use your SP Little Knight on your turn to break the board, together with this Link 1 that you can make with Evely Purely monster. We can see there are 2 SP Little Knights, 1 IP Masquerena in this Rescue Ace deck, and also the Linkuriboh here. Once again, let's read the effect till the end, because this is not the only part of the card. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can target 2 face-up monsters on the field, including a monster you control, and banish both until the end phase. You can only use each effect of SP Little Knight once per turn. So this is really crazy, because this is easy to make, easy to get to, and if you are making this with a linked fusion synchro XYZ or link monster, so if you are IP Masquerena on your opponent's turn, or maybe your Linkuriboh on your turn, then for the little investment of 2 effect monsters, this is able to banish a card on the field or in the graveyard for the cost of not being able to attack directly, which is not that much. And then you can also, when your opponent activates a card or effect, once again, use this card. For example, you can target this card if you want to, and another card on the field, or another monster on the field, and banish them till the end phase. So this is really strong in breaking, for example, breaking your opponent's board or interrupting your opponent, because this basically, for the cost of 2 monsters, is able to present 2 interruptions. The first one being, if you make it with Fusion Synchro XYZ or Link, the first one being the banish from the graveyard or the field, which is quite strong. It's a target here, keep that in mind. And then you can target here, once again, it's also a target, but then you can once again use this to remove a monster. So really crazy, really unlimited potential here with this card. Super cheap, super powerful interruption. You can make this early in breaking your opponent's board. So let's say your opponent has established a board, you want to break it, you can make this early. Try to break the board with little investment, just 2 effect monsters, maybe go over your Linkuriboh, and then your opponent has to react to this, otherwise you might already have a broken through. You can see, as I already said, Rescue Ace is playing the IP the S&P Little Knight. The Purli deck is playing it together with the Linkuriboh, though obviously you could also just play the Anima, which also works in activating SP Little Knight's effect. Telements, we can see, is also playing the Little Knight. Oh, they are not playing it. Interesting, but I think they could, and they have definitely some spots that I would play the SP Little Knight over, but okay. And we can see another deck here. There's a 6 Heavy Samurai deck, which we will get in the future, and you can also see the S&P Little Knight here. Fire King, the new structure deck that will release in the TCG and will have an infinite impermanence in the deck, which this is quite nice. Infinite impermanence, also Solemn Judgment and Droll and Lockbird. So if you want to start playing the TCG, want to invest in cards, then that's a good time. You could pick up the Fire King structure deck that will release, I think, in about a month in the TCG. Not quite sure here, could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if you know the correct timeline, but you will get an Imperm, Droll and Lockbird, and a Solemn Judgment, 3 really nice staple cards. But you can also see S&P Little Knight is once again here in the deck, and yeah, this will basically be in nearly every deck that can fit it. And I have looked at the lists over the past weeks, and in basically every list you could see S&P Little Knight, sometimes 2, sometimes 1, but it has taken the OCG by storm, and probably will also take the TCG by storm. And then, of course, when it comes to us and Master Duel, this will also be the case. So one of the best, strongest generic cards that has been printed in years. So of course IP Masquerena was definitely also one of them. I'm not quite sure when IP Masquerena released, but I think it's quite an old card. So really exciting, really interesting. Age of Overlord, the new set coming to the TCG on the 19th of October, has some awesome cards. Some of them we will take a look at in videos that I will release in the future, but it tends to be the case that the sets later in the year are the stronger ones. We had this with Power of the Elements, with Darkwing Blast, where the first set in the years with the Adventure Engine and stuff were the weaker ones. And we have this once again here. I mean, Photon Hypernova was, of course, quite strong with all the Kashtira completing stuff, but then Cyber Storm Access and also Duelist Nexus weren't that impactful, where this will be very, very impactful. And keep in mind, we will also get the Rarity Collection in November, one of the best times ever to start playing the TCG if you want to, because a lot of the staple cards you can get there in basically every rarity, super rare, ultra rare, secret rare, and then 2 other rarities. Not quite sure on the names here, but you can, for example, get your Pot of Prosperities, which are at the moment, we can take a look, which are super expensive and are basically in every deck. Oh, right now they are not that expensive. I'm seeing, okay, you can get them at the moment for 25. This is, as you can see, really, really cheap. Normally they are more in the 30, 35, 40 range. This obviously is because we will get the reprint from the Rarity Collection, so they are dropping in price because you will get them cheaper. There will also be cards like Forbidden Droplet, which right now is also not that cheap, 12 euros. Other cards like Lightning Storm. So there has never been a better time to start playing the TCG, even though we will get some really expensive cards that you basically want to run in every deck, like the SP Little Knight in the upcoming set. And obviously there are more exciting cards that we will get there, for example the new Zeus. But yeah, we will have to see how impactful this set will be. I think right now you can only see the... Okay, you can't even, but there was the... the Japan version of the SP Little Knight. Even this one is like 10 euros. Obviously you're getting this from Japan, and I think it's quite cheap over there, as they always have the more cheaper cards. But yeah, this we will get in a few days, so be excited, and we will be looking at the market and seeing how expensive this will get. I'm predicting this will go up to 100 euros, but we will see. Maybe the pull rates aren't that bad. let's see, let's wait and see. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please comment what is your opinion on this card. Do you think it's awesome? Do you think it's overrated, overhyped? Let me know, guys. If you like my kind of videos, please consider subscribing, hitting thumbs up, and the notification bell. This helps out a lot, and we will see each other in the next one.